morning to you. Welcome to Dawn and Vostv. My name is Pearl Omoyi, and I'm not alone in the studio. I'm with the delectable, intelligent, and beautiful Ebony Benahi Onofe.
Good morning, Pearl. How you doing?
I'm fine. You're glowing this morning.
No, I should say that actually. You're looking so good.
I like your nails. I'm like, look at the bold lady.
Thank you so much.
Okay, on today's episode on Dawn on Vostv, we'll be discussing about a very pressing issue that has been of national concern. It's actually something everybody's talking about. It is rituals. Yes. Ritual killings everywhere. We hear a lot of sad stories from all parts of the country talking about people using their mothers, using their girlfriends, some even using themselves or their friends. And it has become a source of national concern. And Benahil, what's your thought on these ritual killings happening everywhere?
I think it's actually alarming because first of all, this ritual killings using persons for these sacrifices, or it did not just start today, did not just start this year or last year.
Yes.
In fact, we always knew that there's something called money rituals and people being used for that.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, I think this year we've heard a lot of news. Persons, in fact, I read an article, not even an article, I saw a news where like 3 days ago, I think persons were arrested in Ogun State. We also heard of the news.
Teenagers too,
yes,
using their girlfriends. You know, that's even the part that actually bad for me is, yes, I am actually against the fact that he used his girlfriend. But at that age,
17, 18,
15.
and okay, yes.
The friends were 15, 16, 17. The guy is 19 and the girl is 17. Now 17, she has a boyfriend.
I don't want to start from there because yes, you may like somebody and all, but at that age you ought to be thinking about, okay, I want to write jam, I want to pursue my education, I want to do this, or I want to learn a skill and everything. When you look at these persons, they'll be like, okay, oh, I'm not trying to write anybody off, but they should have other pressing priorities. And when I read the story, you used your girlfriend, like right now, I can't say that the world is turning to something else because the world has turned into something else. Like you saying that you had the mind to cut off her head and do so many.
Cut her head inside the pot. They said they actually learned it from the social media.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, wow. Because it's so shocking because, you know, sometimes I'll be like, okay, oh, to an extent, so persons can do this. To an extent, so persons will not do this. But that age, 17, 15, like when I was that age, I think I finished secondary school and I was trying to write jam, I was trying to do other things.
Find your feet.
Not to look at another person and be like, this one will be good for some money, like to get enough money. Like, no, that's so terrible because we see a lot of youths, they just want to make quick money. Yes, the country is hard. Yes, we're trying to just earn a living, we're trying to do things, but rituals is that's extreme, really extreme.
Yeah, adding to that, you said something about that age they want to do this, they want to find their feet, education and all. But I think it's all boiled down to moral decadence, which comes from the home.
Yeah.
Because the self-socialization actually starts from the family, the school, before it moves to the larger society. I think there is no morals anymore. On my part, it's what I think. Because now we see boys of younger generations of 15, 16 who are thinking of how to find their feet or do something for themselves or learn a skill. Now they want to be with the roll with the big boys. Like you understand, they want to drive cars that some persons who have actually worked all their life to say, I think this is my retirement package for myself. But these guys want to buy it.
You see them buying cars of over 7 million, 8 million, and they just drive it anyhow because they didn't work for it. They didn't work for it. They will kill another person.
I think they did. They worked for it because Sleepless Nights was for that, and the thought of even trying to do something, the effort of moving the wrong way is their work for it.
You know, persons, let's say civil servants, okay, they worked for like 20 years, 30 years to maybe build a house or get something like something good. You know, when that you don't see that person spend money anyhow because they worked for it. Like they spent a lot of sweat into that work, into doing things because yes, some amount of money is not easy to like just come by and everything. But yes, you said these persons, they worked for it, they killed somebody or they were involved in one cyber crime and anything. But I won't say it was one hard-earned money. Because if you really work hard for something, you will not want to use it anyhow. You know, to imagine you buy a phone of 300k, your hard earned money. You will not place your phone anyhow.
Why would I buy a phone of 300K?
Just imagine persons use phones of 500k. In fact, we're not going to get to that point. But imagine, okay, there's this system, Alienware, used for gaming, for some other purposes, that okay, I got this system going for 1.5 million naira. I will not place my system anyhow, because I know that this system is really expensive. I worked so hard for it, and I'm going to maintain it well. But if someone should just, I got 3 million naira yesterday, I can get 10 million naira next week, I'll just place the system anyhow, I'll just do anything. So these persons right now, they didn't work hard for that money at all.
Okay, another cause I think is, I think it's unemployment, poverty, and this peer pressure.
Yes.
Now let's think about employment. You know, not just the younger generations, there are even some older persons too going through these elite art.
There's something you said, parents
That
having a
already-
role.
yes.
I was going to say something.
Okay.
Yes, some persons are of the opinion that children, when they grow up, they have the mind of their own, they can do stuff. But no, not totally true. Imagine, as a mother, as a father, you spend time inculcating the right values into this child. I was in school, I was an undergraduate once, and yes, I was faced with the pressure of doing certain things that I shouldn't do on a normal day. I faced those pressure, but I did not do it because I had the right morals. Like, I was like, no, I can't do this. It will just last for
Integrity was there to keep you through.
exactly. But some persons, they won't even think twice. No. They will just engage in some stuff.
And the parents actually let them be.
And parents, you won't see, okay, your child, she's not earning, she's not working, she's 17-year-old, and a 17-year-old child rather,
an expensive phone.
Come home with an iPhone 11 Pro. I don't know how they
Other
grade
expensive
phone.
gifts.
And you be like, wow, my daughter, show me something now, show me small thing, like all those things. You can be like, where did you get that phone from? So really, parents, they have a major role to play. And you talked about unemployment. Let me be truthful.
Things are hard.
Things are very, very, very hard. Imagine to just work, like to get a job where you can be paid $100 right now in this economy is really, really hard. Really, really hard. Because I'm just saying, other developed countries, like, okay, I can get like $500 this week, something. You can't really earn that amount as an average citizen of Nigeria. No, you can't really earn that amount.
But I think that's the part of entrepreneurship actually comes in.
Yeah.
Acquiring a skill. Because even in the universities, before you pass out, they always tell you, try to hold on to something, not just certificate alone.
I'm not just being an entrepreneur, because if we should look at this squarely, it's not easy to be an entrepreneur in this society.
But in the small CEO term,
but if
just
you
try.
learn a skill, look at, we have tech. Tech will never run out of business, or run out of, should I say, to not go out of vogue. Like, you learn how to be a web designer, or you learn some programming skills, or you be a data scientist, like so many things, a project supervisor, like many tech skills. In fact, when you go online and search for jobs like that, they're in demand. Yes, we're like, okay, learn a skill, tailoring, being a good, all those essentials. Yes, but the world is going like digital, and you need to keep abreast with a lot of things that are happening. Learn these skills. You have your phone. It's not just to go into not just for you to Snapchat or go to WhatsApp or just go into Instagram. There are a lot of skills that you can learn. In fact, Google is out there giving free certificates to persons that want to learn the skills. So right now, yes, the country is hard, but you can learn good skills.
That's why patience plays a pivotal role.
Yeah.
It's who is patient to say, I'll learn a skill. Now, some persons you want to learn skill from, they don't even make it easy for you.
Yeah.
Now, I want to learn tailoring, and the person will tell me the very huge amount of money within now and a month to 6 months. And that time, I'll be responsible for my transportation, my feeding. And before I start, actually what I like about the fashion design is you can start from anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't really need a big shop yet, but just know what you're doing and target your customers.
Packaging, branding,
and trying to learn and improve your skills. But it's kind of difficult to learn the skills. It's not an excuse for them to go into the rituals though, but I'm trying to say persons should also encourage them. Because it's not easy. Imagine somebody telling me I want to learn fashion, set 500k. And when the lady told me, I was like, fashion, no. Like, I want to be making clothes for myself. It's not for anybody. She said
Persons
it's
are making it
500K.
hard for another person or other
You understand? It's
individuals to even
frustration.
learn. Because a lot of persons, imagine you are talking to a 20-year-old child, is already depressed, child is already frustrated. You're talking to a 25-year-old, 22-year-old, and they are trying their best, and they are just like many persons are committing suicide these days.
Depression is real.
It's so real.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, they are shouldering a lot of responsibility that they should not even shoulder at that age, and they don't even know what to do and be like, let me just end it all. They don't have see, this country is really hard. It's really hard, and you as an individual, don't make it more harder, or don't make it harder rather for another person to live. Don't.
Yes. And now the next one is peer pressure. This is one thing I hate so much. But I think it also boils down to everything is just linking to family. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about is peer pressure and poverty. I think this is another major cause of these people going into this elite art. What do you have to say? Because for me, actually, for that peer pressure is something I do not really like. Because I think that's where the family still comes in.
Yes.
That's the part of sex education. These are part of the things you have actually a personal talk with your child. You prepare them ahead of the things that are going to happen.
Yeah.
You use your own life stories as a stepping stone for them to how to lead their lives.
Like, I don't know the priorities or the priority a father or mother have, because okay, if I want to have a child, I'll like, okay, oh, I want to have 3 children, or I want to have 2 children. I don't think it's by the number of children you have. If you have a child, you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure this child is well to do. And when I say well to do, not in terms of money, in
Exactly.
terms of the right moral values. Like, my child will, yes, my child may not have a certain thing, but the child will not be
Lack the normal morals.
exactly. My
Law,
child will not want, okay, I don't have this, I must get this. Like, my child will not be under this pressure to be like, no, I must acquire this, I must acquire that. No, 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 no. That's why, as you're a mother, you're a father, teach your children, like, teach them well. It's not about saying, I have 7 children, I have 9 children, very soon you'll be one football club and what have you. The thing is, you teach them, okay, I have just not just, what is just, I have 2 children. Okay, every morning I'm calling my child. In the morning I send a message, you know what, love another person, do this, don't worry, God is with you, do this. Like, let the child have this sense of belonging, because many persons suffer from inferiority complex.
and they can't share with their parents.
And they cannot. In fact, we have a lot of teenagers, a lot of youths. I'm not sure so many persons have heard their father say, I love you.
I think I heard that before. A lady said when she went out and she was in a group, and she went out in the group church, and everybody was like, bye, I love you, I love you. So when they told her I love you, she said, I had skipped.
Yeah.
We all laughed, but I was like, you had skipped? Because I love you is like a song in my house. You understand? So imagine that out of a family where they don't even sit down to talk.
If you do, exactly.
So if you don't talk, you will know what is in your child's mind, and the child will tend to confide in that same child of the same age grade who is also inexperienced just like he or she is, and will be like, bro, babe, let's do this. That's how they get into this elite act without their parents even knowing.
Be a friend to your
child, not just the mother. And this case of poverty too. You know, they said lack of money or the love of money is the root of all evil. You can't take money away from most things in life.
Based on recent findings, we have over, like, Nigeria is made of about 200 million people, and in recent findings, in fact, 70% of, let's say 50% of Nigerians do not eat up to $1 in a day. Yes.
Giant of Africa.
Giant of Africa. Like, you see, you go into the market where you're supposed to sell a tuber of your shit, and they cut it into like 5 pieces and be like, okay, maybe they want to use this to plant, and no, they sell it. Like, some persons, they cannot afford the full tuber. They're like, okay, let me just buy 2, let me just buy 3. Exactly. Basic things, rice. You know how much is a bag of rice?
Oh, please don't even go there. I don't even want to. No.
Like, no. Life is hard for a lot of Nigerians right now. Like, really, really hard. Many persons wake up with this dream that they want to do this, they want to do that. When you look at the economy, like, I know many persons just feel, the country is hard. It's just one usual mantra we say. The country is really hard. Very hard. And yes, persons will say, the government cannot do everything. The government we really need to do a lot of things for our people. You need to do a lot of things. In fact, you owe Nigerians a lot of things. And I'm not just saying things. You owe them better education. You owe them better health facilities. You owe them
basic
this
amenities,
is their
good
right.
road, light and
It's
water.
their right. Good roads. Imagine someone is dying due to the fact that the road is bad. Potholes and everything.
And you can't even access a good hospital.
And when you are saying poverty, get a skill and everything, let's not just ignore the fact that a lot of things should be put in place to
The
help.
proper foundation has not been laid.
Yes.
It's true. I think I agree with you on that, because poverty is something that, even in the Bible said it's a sin. Poverty is something that is a disease, and it's pushing a lot of persons to do stuff. I read a story about a guy. He said to treat his late mom, he just needed 350 naira. And there was nobody to lend 350 naira or give 350 naira. I was like, what about the nurses, the matrons? These are mothers too. They should feel your pain. I was like, babe. No, he's a big boy now. He's doing so well. But he said whenever he sees people suffering, he's always quick to help them, because he knows how he felt way years back. So you see poverty. Imagine that guy if at that point he had the opportunity to do something bad. Not just these rituals we're talking about. People go into different vices just to make money. Sometimes I'm not trying to be defensive, but it's good for you to do this. Yes,
but we need to come from different sides. You cannot just see them on the head and be like, what you're doing is
wrong. Because some of these persons can hardly feed. So I know a woman who was down with cancer, and she had a son and a daughter. The son actually went into the internet fraudulent stuff, and that was the money he got. So lucky for him, I will put it that way, he was able to get something out of it, and that money was used to treat the mom for breast cancer. Okay, I think we understand that's a good one for the family. Mm-hmm. So you won't come and tell that mother and like what your son is doing is wrong. Nah. You get it? But it was a case of poverty. Imagine if that money was not available, that one would have died for free.
Some persons just need a platform.
A platform.
In fact, you cannot say Nigerians are not hardworking. We are not lazy people. We are not. Sometimes they just need this push. Okay, I want to do this. I want to do that. We are not lazy.
We're not
lazy. And I will still say that ritual killings or human sacrifices to make money is not an excuse.
No.
It's not an excuse.
Never.
You must agree with me that ladies, in fact, they are the receiving end of this ritual killing.
Yeah, they're the first braids, and also with parents. You know, there was a time, a story that was I was told, like some guys, they actually left the house without telling their parents what they were going to. Then they're traveling to the other country, West Africa was involved. You know the country I'm talking about, name with head. No offense taken, please. But the guys came back with so much gifts. The gifts were so much, and the parents were scared. So one of the guys that came out with a friend, after 2 weeks of coming back to Nigeria, the mom died. The other 2 weeks, the dad died. So this particular guy's parents were like, please don't come to my house again. I don't want to see you. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like everybody wants to make money, and the people at the receiving end of this are mostly the ladies, like you said. But I would say it comes to contentment.
Yeah.
When you're contented as a lady, I would say it's the best power, the best beauty you can have is your money. Work for that money, your legal money. You do this in the morning and do that at night. You can do whatever you do at night, but just make sure everything is legal.
The ambition of some ladies is to be the wife of a wealthy man. Just to be the wife. They don't want to be rich, but they want to be the wife of a wealthy guy. They just want to go about with their bow straight, big clothes,
exactly. The bow
money.
straight is giving
so and much this is not hearsay. I've heard it. They just want to marry a rich guy. You heard 22-year-old. I'm not getting any younger. I need to get married. I'm like, what is wrong with you? What's the pressure? In fact, this pressure I'm talking about, most of it comes. You just give yourself unnecessary pressure. Like, your head is not empty. In fact, at the age of 22, you are meant to be doing something industrious, not having this dream of being or ambition of being somebody's wife. No, being the wife to a rich guy. Like, that's so... You are being a lunatic, actually. You are just being another version of a mad person. And
degrading yourself below your standard.
And one thing I even want to tell ladies, in fact, everybody, is that anything that is too good to be true is too good to be true.
I don't think I got that. And all that glitters is not gold. Cut your coat according to your material. Okay, just try to be contented with what you have. You pray, you work hard, you work smart. It's not about working hard, it's working smart as well. And I definitely know the sky will be your starting point. That's a beautiful conversation. And I just hope people, this ritual stuff will tend to just go away.
Die down.
It's not, you see people using their parents, using their girlfriends, their wife, or their children.
And security agencies to actually
put your hands on deck and please address this pressing issue. It's a national issue, and so persons are like, it doesn't concern me. I think a popular musician, an African musician, said something. A reggae musician said, "When death does not hit in your neighborhood, you won't know it exists."
Guys, you heard a lot. You heard what Pearl and I had to say. Do not delve on, engage in this habit of ritual killings. The conversation doesn't end here. Ensure you follow us across our social media platforms. On YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, we are Vostv Niger. So we'll come your way again.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.